Welcome to the Exploration Traveler. You are a brave, courageous soul, and I commend you for joining us on this journey. We are embarking on travels that have never been experienced before in this capacity. So we are expanding, adapting, and evolving to navigate around any blocks or tripping stones that we might have continued to face along our paths that brought us here to this moment. So I'd like to honor everything that has brought us here together to experience these uncharted territories together. Now, to ensure that we're prepared for this exploration, it's essential that we get back to basics, covering what we need in our toolkit for transformation. So, to get started, we're focusing on sensory discovery, using our tools we have within to enhance our travels, specifically around looking, hearing, feeling, smelling, and tasting. And one of the most powerful senses of all is when we are aware of those five senses is our intuition, that gut feeling, when we're aligned with ourselves and our body, open, and we're receiving signals and trusting the feelings and signals that we're receiving in our body. And this practice of exploration is very interesting, and I hope that it encourages you to cultivate curiosity, because we're always receiving lessons and signals along the way. The main differentiation between our paths and fellow travelers is we might be open to receiving these lessons before others, or at different times, different transformation processes unfold in different capacities. So keeping that in mind, trusting that when you receive a lesson, it is here for you to learn, grow, and transform. To that end, I question, what are the challenges and lessons that continue to appear on your journey? And what are you ready to level up with? So an example of this might be, a challenge that really gets you frustrated. It emotionally invigorates you. You feel energy and motion within your body. So when you're facing this challenge that makes you feel a variety of experiences within your physical body, that is an indicator that this is a challenge that needs deeper discovery. So, as we identify what are these hotspots or triggers that serve as an opportunity to detour us in the right direction, let's take a moment to dive deeper into that. So, if you have your journal or another modality to record and track your progress and gather your evidence of, what does this make me feel? When does it appear on my path? Is there a certain time of day or a certain situation in which this challenge arises? And reverse engineering as to when is that initial moment of energy and motion, and how does that make me feel? So, with that level of awareness, we're able to approach this challenge. And by taking a step back, instead of just running into the block, running into the boulder, and being stuck, we're going to take a step back, maybe even a few steps back, and really zoom out and perhaps walk around that boulder. Imagine that. So, we are embarking on this journey with an open mindset, trusting that our blocks are gifts. They are amazing lessons and opportunities to get us back on our purposeful path. So, I know this is a lot of deep work, and that's why we are calling on the most courageous adventurers to explore in the dark journey that is uncertain. We don't know what the next step is going to bring us, but we trust those intuitive, spidey senses that we have as human beings to expand and explore and find our way home to ourselves. So I'm so grateful and excited to be diving into the next steps of this discovery together, which is what segues us to our intention setting conversation. So, as we move forward, it's important that in these times of struggle, when we're faced with a challenge, when we're filled with energy and motion within ourselves, that we're able to come to this moment of why. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? What is the purpose? So, in moments when we're facing challenges, when we might not feel like we have what it takes to get up and move around that boulder or take a step back, this why, this driving force within us, brings us back on track. Now, I trust that this why is different for each of us, and I know that there are certain things that motivate specific individuals on their unique path more than others. And at the same time, although we are unique snowflakes, we all have a magical fingerprint that is unique to us and our physical body. However, the one common theme that I feel in my core is that we're all here to grow and expand. Period. So, zooming out from that capacity, what does it mean to grow in your personal experience? What has that felt like for you before? And how does expanding feel? And that could be a whole few page of journal prompts in itself, just diving into that story of how that makes you feel to expand and growing, breaking through the soil and expanding your leaves, your light into the world. It's beautiful. But with growth, there's also growing pains. And there are moments of discomfort, especially with the plant metaphor. When the seed or seedling is underground still, it's dark. It could be scary. So, in those moments of fear, how can we connect back to our why and remind ourselves that it might be dark right now under the soil, but I'm growing and expanding to break through the surface and shine my light with the world. It's beautiful. And another synchronicity with the plant metaphor is that they take CO2 and create it into oxygen. So the fact that they're providing the air that we breathe is just amazing. And I think that demonstrates the power of the cycle of life and the cycle of how nature naturally unfolds, and thinking about how we need growth to happen so we can breathe. And although the plant metaphor and we as humans are a little bit different in many capacities, there is a beautiful demonstration between the cycles of life and how our collective being, our collective growth and expansion is part of the cycle of the whole. And I just am established a foundation to be present to all of that possibility. It's amazing. There's infinite opportunities to grow and expand, and I love that as the core why, because it is general. However, it's so specific when you're clear on what growth feels like for you, and when you feel what your zone of comfort is, and when you're right at the edge of that zone of comfort but you might stay there, that is stagnant. So when you are expanding outside of that zone is when you get to that edge and step forward. And I'm sure that's a feeling that we can relate on a physical level as well. Those moments when your heart might be racing, or you're getting a little bit hot or flushed, when you feel that energy moving within your body and you're taking a chance. We are expanding. And what's so beautiful about taking that initial step is that now, once you've taken it, you have expanded to a greater capacity. The space you are embodying is growing with you. So you can continue taking those steps and building that muscle of expanding beyond what you thought was possible. It's truly magical. And I'm so grateful to be exploring together and deep sea scuba diving in the depths of our souls. There's so much to uncover here, magical treasure chests that have been stuck under the deep sea ocean, and we are traveling and finding them and opening up those treasure chests to see what's inside. So I am really looking forward to connecting with you one-on-one and learning what feelings showed up for you throughout this practice and what tools for transformation you are specifically interested in receiving to equip you with everything you need to approach and overcome any fear. I'm so proud of you for finding your courage to take your own path with each step you take on this purposeful mission of life. I'm so grateful for the abundance and opportunity to explore together. And I am trusting that we are all flourishing in our own time and space. As a reminder, this is a completely unedited, unfiltered conversation, words from my heart to yours. Until next time.